Good afternoon, everybody. Excuse my hair. The fan is on high, so it's like really trying to blow it out of whack. I'm actually coming to you in the early afternoon. I plan on doing a hair trimming, get my hair trimmed later on and maybe get rid of the tips of my beard so it starts to grow even instead of areas that are longer than others. Um, as or not March, yeah. Um, as August slowly approaches, I've gotten notification from work, the college, that on the 11th of August we have an orientation meeting. Now, I'm hoping um, when this orientation comes that my hair will be styled and my beard will be fixed the way I want it. And if I go in there and they tell me I have to trim my beard especially, there may be some issues with that. But I will talk to my supervisors and see if I can make some sort of agreement or arrangement, because I figured if my beard is, done right, I'm just going to twist it and I can get most of it in a rubber band or whatnot, that it won't be a problem. If they say it's going to be a problem, then we'll have to sit down one-on-one with my boss, the boss, to talk about it, because I really don't want to get rid of it for a lot of different reasons. Um, you know, some of it personal preference, some of it beliefs, some of it just because of heritage. Besides, I don't know how many months that I worked last season with my beard, and nobody complained. So I'm hoping, as long as I can keep it trussed up and styled and whatnot, it won't be a problem. But we'll see. I'm willing to work with them if they're willing to work with me. They did me. They did me solid last season. Because of Jerry's health and whatnot, they understood that. Thankfully, Jerry and our doctors, basically both hers and mine, are willing to set schedules or set appointments later in the afternoon. There's only one appointment that's coming up, but that's coming up here in a week or so with my no my foot doctor's coming up soon, but the sleep test is not until sometime in August. I have to go back and look at my calendar to find out, and talk to my, either call the doctor and see if I can do something over the weekend, or talk to my supervisor saying, hey, look, I have at least 1 to 2 appointments of my own set up for the morning time on such and such a date once I figure that out. Ow. But if everything goes the way I think it's going to go, hopefully I'll be inside. Hopefully they'll have Zatar moved indoors. I know they're doing a lot of construction at the college right now, and I don't know how soon it's going to be done. So when I get there, I'll find out what's going on, whether Zatar got moved indoors, or if I'm working at a different station due to the construction. I wouldn't mind working in a different venue instead of just staying with Zatar. That way I can learn everything, learn a different location, whether it's dealing with burgers, pizza, subs, what's the other two that I'm trying to think of? Let's see here. The substation, the pizza station, the hamburger station, the sub sandwich station, the kitchen station, which is, they call it the kitchen, but it's basically serving food that comes out of the kitchen. I'm not working. I won't be working back there all the time. I'll be out there serving food and whatnot. And then there is the Hispanic food station. And the Hispanic food station is basically like Taco Bell. You're making tacos and taco salads, tacos, burritos, um, quesadillas, you know. It's probably not a station that I have not worked at except for the pizza. That's right. I've never worked in a pizzeria. And the sub shop, well, I've never worked at a Subway, but I worked plenty of other food service industries in New York that I've done sub sandwiches for the delicatessen that I worked at one point in time, and I did sub sandwiches for the deli department in the grocery store, Stop and Shop in Oceanside, New York. So the pizza place would be the only thing that I'd have to work at, and they excuse me, something got stuck in my tooth. The pizza place, the pizza location in the college, they make great pizza. Don't get me wrong, but most of the time the dough, or the crust, I should say, has already been formed. I don't know if they get it shipped in pre-formed, or if they like pre-form the crust and whatnot, and lay a sheet of wax paper in between the crusts. And they're not big. They're not big pies. They're like personal sized pizza pies, like Pizza Hut does. So I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do with me when I get there, but I'll find out, and kind of hope and pray that I'm not working outside where it's gonna be, a hot box, because just unfortunately the way it got the setup got put together outside, that the AC unit is not adequate enough for keeping everything cool while you're working with a couple hundred degrees at the other end of the building, or whatever you want to call it. I was told by my supervisor last year, basically what they did was they took a double wide shipping container, slapped it on the platform or in its location, hooked up an AC unit, set it up where you can have your countertop between you and the students or visitors or whatever you want to call them, which is fine by me. I really didn't care, because it was just like, dude, why is it so, why is it like either one end of this little building is, adequately warm and or cool enough for me, but the other end feels like I'm standing in an oven. It's because the AC unit was not big enough for keeping it temperature, having proper temperature control. It is what it is. I mean, I complained about the heat and whatnot, but for the most part, it was a good place. It was an enjoyable experience. But I'm not a desert person, so having that heavy duty heat, where I feel like, I need to drown either pour a bunch of cold water, ice water over my head, or, I'm gonna, God forbid, pass out from the heat experience. Or the heat level. But I still did my job. I came in at 6 o'clock in the morning and got my food stuff prepped and cooked and whatnot, and brought it out there to my duty station, and set everything up the way it's supposed to be set up, and boom, I'm good. But today, we're not here to talk about what could be the future, because the future is unknown. It's not written. we actually are going to be talking about the past. Now, actually, before we talk about the past, I'm going to talk real quick about. I did a shopping haul earlier, which you guys will probably see before this one, because I'll probably have this one, the shopping haul, come out, and this one will probably come out later on in the evening time. Because not everybody wants to see what everybody else bought at the grocery store. But I have my 2 Nordic cookbooks sitting out here. And I want to flip through them real quick to see if I can find. Actually, I just realized even if I did find a decent chicken recipe, I might not have all the ingredients. So forgive me. I just realized I am talking about something I may or may not be able to do due to the ingredients in the house. But tonight will be a chicken dish. If it's something from one of my books, I'll try to record it. If not, I still might try to record it. I mean, there are multiple ways of making all kinds of. Some people have different ingredients or different recipes for, I don't know, let's say chicken Alfredo. Or I don't have the skill to do it, but I wish I had the knowledge or whatnot. Not only the skill, but the knowledge and know-how, or all the ingredients that Jerry used to use to make chicken franchise, or just chicken with a lemon sauce. You know, I love that kind of stuff. And if I remember the one recipe that had a lemon butter chicken, lemon butter sauce for chicken, it was just melted butter, lemon juice, maybe throwing the lemons in there to cook the juices down to make a very nice creamy. So it's probably like flour, butter, lemon juice. Maybe it was just flour, milk, lemon juice. I don't know, or not flour, butter, milk, and lemon. I don't know. I can probably look something like that up in the on the net. I don't know. But one of the things I tried to do earlier, and I realized it would not have been enough light, is I have my 2 candles, that candle, that fake lamp. Oh, you don't even know what I'm pointing at. Sorry. Yes, I have my 1 Mountain Dew for the day. But I had this lamp, which has got a faux candle type flickering light bulb. And then I have my mulled cider candle. And then the 2 white candles, one for purification and cleansing and one for spiritual awakening going. And I was going to try to film with just that kind of lighting, and I just went, that's not good enough. They're not even going to be able to see my face. And I could try to find a way to plug in my ring light, but I don't have the power set up for it just yet. So I figured, nope, not going to do it that way, because then they won't be able to see me, or they'll barely be able to see me. And I turn off the light to show you, but then as soon as I turn on the light, this sucker up here, which is not hooked up to the internet, it does not want to hook up for some reason, would be flickering, and I don't want somebody watching my video with that thing flickering and causing somebody to have a seizure or something like that. So I just left it on and then turned my fan up to high medium, just so it would keep the room cool enough. I mean, having lamplight or candlelight back in the old days was the most amount of light they could have back then. And when you live in an area where they have long, harsh winters, that's about it. But I'm happy to live the way I live. If I had to live with candlelight or something along that level instead of actual lighting above my head, I think I can handle that. The only thing is, I'd have to make sure that when I go to record my videos, if I could, um, I had enough lighting or did it during like a certain part of the day where the light is good, but it's not scorching hot or cooking the interior of my minivan or whatever vehicle I go camping in. Yes, we are still desiring the idea to go camping. At this point in time, we don't know if we could because of Jerry's back, even though she's done with the um, radiation treatment. It's the chemo treatment and the overall cancer issue that we have to, be mindful of. Excuse me. With the radiation treatment done, she still has to wear that brace until the bone is, hardens. She still has to be basically no full weight bearing. She can get up and walk, but she has to use that walker. Um, Sometimes she would prefer to use the wheelchair, but I said only outside of the house or, distances that might be too difficult for her to walk on yet because she does not have her full stamina back. We're working on that. We're working on her PT and whatnot. We're actually trying to work on my PT as much as her PT because I realized the way my body is starting to feel, ankle pains, back pains, lower side or back pains. And usually that's first thing in the morning time right after I wake up because of, we either need to flip the bed, switch sides. I don't know what. But I know my lower back and whatnot depends on how I sleep. I'm used to sleeping, before I got married, I was used to sleeping on my back with my head slightly elevated, or even my whole upper body elevated a couple degrees, because it helped me breathe. I'm a mouth breather because my nose gets too clogged from sinuses, allergies, and whatnot. But I can't do that anymore. Two reasons why. One is it's become uncomfortable. It seems like any way I sleep nowadays is uncomfortable. That and a factor. Quit using that word, Jim. That and a fact, when I do sleep on my back, the couple times I've fallen asleep on my back, um, even in a king size bed, which is kind of odd, but maybe that's just me. Sometimes when Jerry rolls around, she bumps my side, my arm, bumps me in one way or another, and it wakes me up. Or if it doesn't wake me up, I wake up with a cramp in that part of the body that she might have, her arm or leg or part of her might have landed on. I know Jerry does not want to sleep alone, but the thing is, with my comfort being out of whack from everything from bad posture in the past, possible some sort of, what did you call it last night? Some kind of I can't even remember the word, but it had to do with my posture because I have spent most of my life either down looking like this and my shoulders are more forward than they should be instead of back like they're supposed to be. So that's probably one of the main things that's caused back issues in the past. Part of this slunch, or I don't know what you want to call it, but is because I used to carry heavy backpacks, and it helped me more when I pulled myself forward to handle the pressure of the backpack pulling my shoulders. So, as a school kid, I used to carry my life in my backpack, my books, my school materials and whatnot. I didn't use a locker. because it just felt uncomfortable using locked doors because too many people, too crowded, too many possibilities for being ganged up on. I've had to deal with that kind of stuff all my life, and my deal was I was skinny, I was thin. And I think the reason why I was thin is because my whole body was so hyper that every ounce of calories and food that I ate was burnt off within minutes. I didn't start getting this gut until I moved to New York, where it was pasta, 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 and more pasta. Like practically every dinner had some form of pasta. That in fact, I wasn't as active as I was before moving to New York, because when it was just me and Mom worked most of the day, on a keyboard doing medical transcription. So I took it upon myself to try to keep the house clean and organized, which it was uber clean and organized with me. But things just kind of went downhill after I moved to New York, which some people might say it was a bad thing, but I don't think it was, because even though I wasn't as active, I didn't walk as much. I didn't do as much activity trying to clean, because it was like, I don't know what to clean in this house. The house has been that way for who knows how many years. And, but Jerry has helped me. She helped me build my confidence to drive. She's helped me build up and see my self-worth. There's a lot of good that Jerry has done for me, no matter what other people say. And I really don't care what other people say anymore. But anyhow, I've already talked way too much, but I want to get into this. If it sounds like I skipped an area, just let me know and I'll go back and read it. I already went back to read the sports and activities of the, sports and games of the Norse people. Hopefully that video went out. I started to read the other day the Building Blocks of a Nation, King After King. And, oh, fudge. I am not going to read this right now. I just looked up and realized I've got other things I got to deal with. But anyhow, tomorrow we're gonna dig into that, and I will dig into this tomorrow. And if you didn't hear the first part, the Building Blocks of a Nation, let me know, and I'll reread that or deal with that. And then if I have, and some of you have heard it, we'll get into like the different nations of the Scandinavian territory, or the Nordic lands. And of course, the first one is going to be Norway. Then Sweden, Denmark, and that will be the end of that chapter. I'm sorry, between my mind the way it is lately and timing, I get what Jerry calls, and I think it is a real thing. It's called time blindness. There's actually 2 people on TikTok that talk about living with ADHD. One of them is a gentleman, and now there's a lady who speak about their experience in living with ADHD. And one of them is actually, I think one of them is a medical or a psychological doctor. So he can not only talk to you about his experiences with ADHD, but what he's learned through the medical profession. And I do not know these people. I never really went to look at their TikTok, because I'm not on TikTok that much anymore. But if you want to find out who they are, Jerry Ann might be able to tell you. So, again, I'm sorry that I have not gotten into the Viking Handbook. But I do want to say something about Jerry read me a comment from one of her viewers, and I'm surprised she's not viewing my channel and putting her comments on my channel. But she talked about, she was basically telling Jerry that Vikings were not a people. They were something I've always said, and she's trying to tell Jerry the stuff that we already know, that the Vikings are not the people of the Norse. They're a job or an occupation from the Norse. And the Vikings were the men and women who could or wanted to go on raids, while there was many other Nordic people left behind in their villages and whatnot to take care of home. I've already talked about this, I don't know how many times on my channel, but this one particular person wanted to act like Jerry didn't know, acted like Jerry didn't know what I was talking about, which is like wrong. We both know who the Norse people are and what the Vikings were. There's plenty of Norse people still alive. They're in Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Denmark. They're still alive today. They're just not called Vikings. And they're not even called Norsemen anymore. They're called by their homelands. You're either from Norway, so you're Norwegian. You're either from Sweden, so you're a Swede. You're from Denmark, you're a Dane or Danish. It's just like, come on, people. I do my research, and this person wanted to act like we didn't do our research, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, if we didn't do our research, come to my channel and point out what I'm missing in my research so I can go research it. Because like I've said before, I'm not taking anybody's word for what it is. I'm not even going to take it for granted. You tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to sit there and go, where's your information? Where are you getting your information? So I can go look at that book. Either go online to look at it or go to Amazon and buy the book that you must be getting your information from, because, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different books on Vikings or Norsemen. And that's including the mythology of the Norsemen. One book here that I want to read pretty soon, besides this particular author who writes about Norse mythology, and he is I think he's from Norway, but he wrote this book, and it's like one of the top bestsellers. Let me just pull that here. I've already showed this book once or twice. Very good author. I've only gotten to read bits and pieces. I need to sit down and read the book cover to cover and not skip around or skip from book to book. Then I have this book that is brand new. I just picked it up within the last couple months. I haven't even started reading it, but it's all about Odin. And it's kind of funny because it's ecstasy, runes, and Norse magic. Odin was actually considered the father of Norse magic because he literally hung himself on a tree for a very long time and gave his one eye so he can gain the knowledge of magic and runes and, all that stuff. But I kind of laugh at people who want to say I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, well, unless you got more books than I do, or you can guide me to a specific book or whatever where you got your knowledge, and I'll compare your knowledge to my knowledge, and maybe we can have a nice little one-on-one discussion. I'm not afraid to have a one-on-one discussion if you can prove that my knowledge of Norse mythology or the Nordic people, dating from the 600s to, I don't know, today. I know more about their history, dating from 600 BC to almost 1200 BC. 600 years worth of mythology and customs and lifestyles and all that fun stuff. That's a lot of knowledge right there, 600 years. Now, yeah, I might have to go back and look up some of that information because I don't remember, because that's a lot of information to cram in my brain. And with all the issues I've had it with past incidents as a kid, it's a wonder. I know back when I was, a child, before my preteens, with all the bangs, bumps, bruises, and whatnot that has happened over the years to my, skull. Who knows what it's done to my brain? I wouldn't be surprised if I was, not autistic. What did my brother-in-law used to call me? An idiot savant. Or a savant. Doesn't matter if it's idiot, but just a savant. Pieces of information or ideas or things that, come out of my mouth out of the blue. Just, I call it common sense, but it's out of my norm. I mean, my mom can remember more about my medical history than I can, but, we actually sat down one day and said, okay, between falling out of the crib, straight to a hardwood floor, being ran over by a pair of poodles and hitting my head on the concrete in the Philippines, falling out of trees, having my bridge of my nose almost broken, surprisingly not broken, just all the different things that's happened to me, including the accident in junior high where, we were playing flag football, and according to the stories I was told by coaches and fellow students, that me and another kid collided trying to catch that football. I got knocked backwards, hit the back of my head on a rock, and had a seizure. And ended up, parents came to get, my mom came to get me from school. I was having trouble staying conscious. There was one point in time that I think my mom said that she thought I was either dead or just not there. Like I was unconscious and non-responsive when my father came back from work and they took me to the hospital. But the thing is, I don't remember anything except for waking up in the hospital. I don't remember getting up, getting dressed, going to school, having any kind of issues. All I remember was waking up, looking at my dad, a doctor, my mom, and a nurse at the hospital like, what the is going on? I don't remember anything from that day. I still don't. Every time I try to think back to it, I don't know nothing. That day is gone. That literally, I missed a whole day in my life because of this one little incident. Does that make me, stupid? Does that make me dumb? Does that make me have, memory issues? Stupid, dumb, no. Memory issues, maybe. I mean, all my life I was told, oh, you'll never read above your grade level, let alone two grades lower. I would always be 2 grades behind everybody around me. Yes, I did go to special ed in high school. It just means I was slower than most of the people. But the thing was, by the time I dropped out of high school, literally I dropped out of high school in the middle of 12th grade and got my GED with one try. I was being told before I even dropped out of high school, like the end of my 11th year, my my school counselor, and well, she was not only my school counselor and not activist. I don't know what you call them anymore, but I remember sitting down with my mom and my counselor and the head of the special ed department, sitting there going, your son is now reading college level books that we don't have here in our school, and they're higher than anybody else around us, but he still has average, what was it, above average science, above average social studies, average to slightly below average mathematics, English, and above average reading. I can read the heck out of a book, but my punctuations and my English spelling is about average, if not slightly below average. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they were saying, well, since you started at high school, Paradise Valley High School, you excelled in nearly 2 years. Because I went into Paradise Valley. Yes, I started 9th grade, Paradise Valley, at the last semester of 9th grade. So I transferred during wintertime to Paradise Valley. Did 10th grade, 11th grade, and half of 12th grade. And by the time I got with the GED scores, pointed out what level skills I have, above average. They called it above average, even though there was a couple of areas that were just slightly below average. So I was like science, social studies, reading, above level. Mathematics, right there at or slightly above. English, right at or slightly below what they call the norm of the average, school teenager or teenager, high schooler. Excuse me. Okay, thank you very much. Took that GED, took that information somewhere in our important files that we have secured, so they don't get damaged or lost or anything like that. So when people tell me that that I'm stupid or dumb, I just kind of go, really? Really? If you only knew. But now you do. But anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Hope you guys have a good weekend. It is Friday. Or is it Saturday now? No, it's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully it's nice. Hopefully wherever you live, it's not so overbearingly hot that you're gonna bake to death if you try to do anything outside. If you do anything outside because you have to or you really, really want to, stay hydrated, not dehydrated. Stay hydrated. Try to keep a cold water bottle nearby. Cold water bottle will do two things for you. One, it will allow you to drink cool water, so you're not drinking hot, nasty water. And it will help keep you cool inside and out. So, to those of you who want to go swimming or enjoy the pool, lake, river, wherever you go swimming, just keep hydrated. Of course, this time of the day you don't want to be out there in the sun, because this is the time of the day you'll burn quicker and easier, unless you've got 3 million proof suntan lotion or whatever they call it, because it's not fun getting a sunburn. I've had plenty myself, and mostly because I'm fair skinned. I don't tan. I burn, then I peel, and I'm white again. That's why I'm more of a night person, because there's no sunlight. I'd rather have the moonlight than the sunlight. But anyhow, you guys enjoy. Oh, I'm so used to just signing off. I keep on forgetting to do this every so often. Thumbs up if you like the little video here. comments, questions, you can put them in the comment question box. If you're new and you want to join, you can click the little subscription button, and then a little bell will pop up. Click on that bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. Until then, you guys have a good day. Bye.